That last one, yeah, I was just trying to, I felt really fortunate when we got that third goal because that definitely gave us a little bit of a cushion, but I figured they weren't going to stop coming after us. So, I figured they were probably just going to hit anything regardless of where it was from. So I felt pretty good about where I was standing, and I read it off her foot and got a good little touch. I thought it might go wide, but I figured at that point in the game it probably wasn't worth the risk of letting it bang off the crossbar or something like that. So I just tipped it over and I felt pretty comfortable.
Your thoughts overall on the win and your first start of the season?
Yeah, I definitely had the pregame jitters today, and it was the 7 p.m. game, so I had them all day long. But it feels really good to get that first game under my belt, and I'm starting to work with the back line, and we were kind of figuring each other out as the game went on. And even though I've played with them, they've started the season with a different keeper, so I just wanted to kind of come in and make that transition seamless. And I felt like we did some nice things, and I felt like for the most part, they made my job really easy. So they were really stellar tonight.
At 2-0, it seemed like Washington kind of took a little more chances, and you faced coming out of your box, having to tip the one over. And did you feel a real change in the game?
I did. I think maybe for a little bit, we, looking back and watching film on that, we might feel like maybe we got a little too comfortable at 2-0 for about 10 minutes, and the goal was definitely a little bit of a wake-up call of, okay, we're not going to ride this out for the last 30 minutes or so. But, for the most, just in terms of possession and kind of our movement up top, we just sort of looked content to swing the ball and not really push forward too much. But I felt like, once that did happen, we kind of regained control of the game very quickly, put another one away, and I thought we responded exactly how you're supposed to respond to something like that happening. So I was happy with what the girls did in front of me there.
Was it a must-win kind of thing for you too?
I think that we didn't really talk about it, but the thought of going 1-3 to start the season certainly is vastly different than starting, 2-2. I feel like we're kind of back at, ground zero, literally. I think it feels good, and now we'll start a little bit of, we'll go on the road again, but I think we're playing well again. Our defense looks really sharp, and we're scoring goals in the run of play, which I think was something that was missing in the last 2 games, and we had struggled a bit with. So I know that we're all really happy to be creating chances again.
Did it help you at all be playing at home tonight with dealing with the jitters?
It does. I kind of I always say that I always kind of the jitters sort of subside once I get here. So I get here uncomfortably early, and walk in, and it just sort of is take a deep breath, get the warm up in, and just sort of feel it out that way. So, you got the home crowd behind you, you got the support group. They're wonderful. The fans are amazing. They're so supportive, and they are so wonderful to me that, I truly can't thank them enough. So it is. It's fun to go out and win in front of a home crowd.
What's uncomfortable?
I think my standard is, if they say arrive by about 5, I'll try to be at least an hour. At least an hour before that. Yeah, about 3. I tried to stay busy today. As much as I could, I didn't want to just sort of sit on my couch. So I went out and I actually went and toured my glove company's little facility, and I went and saw Ben over at his gym in Bellevue, and just kept moving around. Got a coffee with Kirsten and Christine Nairn. So it's a good day. Enjoyed myself.
After the ball, we saw a little bit of a soloist scout. How much of that intensity have you picked up from Hope, and how much of it's your own?
I think, in some ways you definitely kind of pick up the mannerisms of the people that you're with, but, I've got a lot of fire too. And I think during the game, nobody turns and obviously looks at me when we score a goal, but I've got some really solid celebration runs and screams that I do that nobody gets to see, thankfully. So I do, especially to have a 2-1 game, all of a sudden it's a game, and they're very much in it, and we got to pick it up. And I think, again, I sort of felt like we had gotten maybe a little complacent with not going forward, so I was a little, definitely wanted to light a little bit of a fire.
How is it being the new mentor for Caroline Stanley?
This is, again, the kind of the first year that I haven't, sort of the first year that I sort of feel like a veteran player. And, you know, when new keepers come in, it's, especially with that, you know, kind of right out of college, I kind of remember what my transition was like out of college. And it was, you know, it's a lot tougher than you kind of think it's going to be. You know, you kind of have this idea of what pros are going to be like. And, you know, she's done some really good things. And, you know, just I'm trying to help her in any way that I can, because it's, you know, it's tough. But, you know, she was excited to, you know, be rostered today and be a part of that game day experience. So, you know, even getting in a warm up and just seeing what that's all about is huge. You know, I remember doing that and just being like, wow, this is, all right, this is real. We're getting closer. So it's been great.